It's a horrible thing to say, but Native Americans have been shot, they've been murdered, they've been hung, they've been raped, they have been demeaned, and they become a political pawn.
After almost 500 years, the Native American community continues to be marginalized by their tortured racial past. With a lack of basic resources like water, electricity, and a disproportionate level of COVID-19 cases, today, Native Americans must find a way to survive the inevitable blood quantum.
We got to remember the federal government created this, and they've defined it as a fractional amount of Indian blood that a person has. And then down the way, you would decipher whether you were full blood, half, or a quarter. And that stops right there. Once it's a quarter blood, the rest of your posterity the tribe goes extinct.
Throughout various points in history, the U.S. federal government didn't want to recognize Native Americans as their own separate tribes. The concept of blood quantum wasn't widely used until the 1934 Welfare Act, where the tribes were enumerated and categorized in efforts to limit tribal citizenship. In Navajo Nation, a minimum of 25% of native blood is required to become an enrolled member of the tribe. If the individual's blood quantum is insufficient, they automatically become ineligible for common resources such as education, services, housing, and can even lose their right to vote in native elections. With this much at stake, many turn to intermarrying to avoid watering down their bloodline.
Everybody's still intermarrying, and even though we're the largest tribe at this point, you're finding that generations are starting to die out. I mean, the blood quantum is getting very thin.
Diminishing is an enrolled member of the Navajo tribe. He is both a shepherd and a weaver and says, blood quantum is just another form of oppression.
My name is Diminishing. I am Navajo, and blood quantum to me is something that was made up to really make us feel ashamed of where some of us may come from. But there's different perspectives on how you can approach the matter depending on how you were raised. It really degrades us as who we are as human beings. And as some would say, we were the First Nations here.